since I posted a video. I've had a lot of stuff going on aside from, you know, working and everything else, but I'm just gonna take a second here to thank everyone. Just crossed 1,000 subscribers, and you know, I'm very blessed to do what I do, be out here, you know, just do research and you know, raise the awareness, you know, that these stories and these encounters and all this stuff is true. Now this video was just gonna be a little bit of anything and everything, but what I want to touch base on first is a feral person encounter that happened, like, I think it was 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago. Trying to get him to sit down with me and talk. He says he's gonna do it, but we just gotta work out a date to do it. But this happened in Cosby, around in Cosby, Tennessee. He had went out fishing along the creeks, fishing for trout, bass, you know, whatever he could catch. So he's walking down this creek, and he was at one spot in a creek, and he had this feeling that he was being watched. And he looked over, and he seen something crouching beside of a tree. He said it looked like a person. Well, he eased on down the bank further away from this figure, and he was in this new spot, and he was fishing. And he said all of a sudden he looked behind him, and this feral person was standing right behind him, and it had one of its arms behind its back, like it had something in its hand. And he said all of a sudden it took off. It threw down whatever it had in its hand, and he said he took off, you know. And when I heard it, he had this encounter, you know. He had fear in his eyes when he was telling this, you know. He was genuinely scared, and he genuinely saw something, you know. But I first asked him, I was like, you know, was it a Bigfoot? He said no. He said this was a person, you know, just real dirty and real mangy looking, just a wild, like a wild person, you know. And he said that it was it was about his height. He's like 6 foot, I think. So he said it was about his height, but he said it was a feral person. So, you know, these feral people, whether, you know, they're people that just decide to live off a grid, or you know, it could be a million different things on how these people came to be. But you know, and know, this area that I'm in right now is actually an area that's not too far from where this had happened. And this is an area that I come in every now and then. I know that there's some Sasquatch in this area. Now there's something moving down in this holler. I'm sitting up on this ridge, and there's a holler down in this area right here. But I'm sitting up above it, you know, and I can hear everything moving around me. But yeah, so this video is just gonna be a little talk about feral people, and you know, just a little bit of anything and everything. I'm gonna walk around here in a minute, not get too far in here. You know, I've not really explored this place too much over. Also, I want to add, I have 2 new Facebook groups. One of them is called CRYPTICVEIL. I have almost 100 members on there. If you haven't, check out my other Facebook group, Bigfoot Reports and Data. I almost have 5,000 members on that, so I'm tickled with that. Also, my other group is called Trailblazers Paranormal. I'm starting a research team from all across America. I'm going to attempt to get that up and going, and I'm going to have team members and do all that kind of stuff, but it's still in the works. Now, I will not be at Tennessee Wildman. Okay, that's a semi. That was a semi. No, I will not be at Tennessee Wildman. I'm having my oldest daughter's birthday party tomorrow, so yeah. So that's no. I'm not going to be at Tennessee Wildman. Now, I want to say, since I haven't posted a video in a while, but I want to say thank you to everybody that came and seen me at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference in Gatlinburg. It was an honor and a pleasure to chat with everybody. Now, I'm going to attempt and go back to the forks of the river where I got that photograph of a dog man. Now, I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to make it back over there. Now, I have some new locations that I've got to check out. There's an area that's not too far from right here where I live. This area is full of them apparently, and this woman and her family, they ended up leaving the property because of the aggressiveness. And then I actually have 2 more areas to go look at. These people, I just got this message today. This woman said that she's heard them, she's found structures, and they've been seen out in these areas. So I'm going to attempt to go check out those locations. And actually, that location is where me and my wife, it's not too far from Wolf Creek Falls. Those areas, when we went to Wolf Creek Falls, me and my wife were paralleled by a Sasquatch, and she ended up slipping and tearing her ankle up. So now, let's see, something else I was going to touch base on. Can't remember what it was, but this area is just, it's so thick, you know, and this area, it boots up to the national forest. Now, I think that the Sasquatch, they come from the national park across the highway into this general area. So now back to the feral people. I was going to try and focus on the feral people on this. Now, there's a lot of talk on you know, feral people running people out of the camps and all this stuff. And, you know, I fully do believe that. And I think that, you know, I think most of the time they live off the land, but I think that sometimes, you know, they come into civilization and, you know, get food from, whether it be trash cans, or, you know, if they manage to get clothes, you know, they may dress their kids up and send their kids in town. You just never know with this kind of stuff. You know, and I've been thinking about this too. So, you know, where the feral people are out there, and, you know, the Sasquatch are out there, I just wonder if, you know, there's not some reproduction going in with that, which, I mean, there very well could be. You know, from where I stand on Sasquatch, they're a human hybrid. So, you know, essentially, now the Sasquatch can still reproduce, yes. Now, who's to say if they don't mix up with a feral person, or, you know, or whatever the case may be. It's really hot today, and I did not pack any water, so I'm probably going to be not in here too long. Now, I will add this. In this other area that I've been researching in, it's not too far from our original research area. It's not in this location, but there's another location, and I read a report from it. I believe it's 4 months ago. It was just 3 months ago, but now it's 4 months. But a woman and her friend were in this area, and they were sitting there in a car, and all of a sudden, this 7-foot tall black creature with humongous wings attacked the car. They said it was blacker than the night, and it was making ungodly noises. You know, but, you know, I said I was going to focus on feral people in this video, but yeah, it's not really going my way. Now, there's a couple of good theories that I've heard, and I'm going to give a shout out to Brian Jeffries from Black Mass Paranormal. He's a good guy, you know, and I'm glad to consider him a friend. He believes that, you know, when the Native Americans were pushed out, you know, some of them stayed behind, and, you know, that could account for some of the cases of these feral people. Absolutely, you know, and I agree with that. Now, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. Let's see, there's something else I want to talk about. Now, I fully do believe that if you put yourself into a position and you're surrounded by these feral people, so to speak, you know, I think they'll take you out. Absolutely. You know, if they're hungry, I'm sure they'll take you out, and, you know, I'm sure they're cannibalistic. But, you know, the encounter that my stepdaughter's dad had, it was pretty terrifying, you know, because that thing had a rock, and it was right behind him, you know. And I told him, I said, "You're lucky to still be alive, you know. That thing could have killed you." But, you know, I don't know if it thought that maybe he had a stringer of fish, and maybe it thought that he could scare him off and get the stringer. But, you know, anything could have really happened on that. So, now, I've got some new tactics to try out. If y'all didn't, go back and watch Not the Hala part 1, 2, and 3. George and Tim, they went back on the 3rd, and they retrieved our cameras. If you've seen the video, you'll know we made a hornet's nest camera, and we put a camera inside of this fake hornet's nest. That camera was 15 feet off the ground, and that camera was ripped off. Now, we had a steel bar to hold the camera on the limb, and they bent the steel bar, and they tore apart the camera, tore apart the styrofoam and all that, and the camera was 15 feet away from the tree that it was in. Now, now, how does a camera that's 15 feet up in the tree, end up 15 feet exactly away from the tree that it was in, you know, and that to me just goes to show some kind of intelligence. And the camera was facing up, so and there's a frame, you know, we got the video and we run back through the video and some of this stuff, and there's some interesting things on there. The two 180-degree cameras, one's back to back on another tree. One of those cameras was twisted all the way around, and this was the weirdest part. The cameras, one of the cameras was twisted and brought around to the other camera, and those cameras only recorded for 1 day. It was disheartening to hear that, but we've got some new techniques and stuff that we're going to try out. Now, you know, if I ever come across one of these feral people, you know, and I really hope I don't, but you just never know, because I mean, as much as I'm off trail and, you know, just sitting around being observant and stuff, you know, I'm not going to say that it's not going to happen, but it very well could. Now, I don't really go armed, you know, because I made my intentions known to the Sasquatch, you know, that I'm not going to carry a weapon, you know, other than my machete or my knife, you know, just to clear my way through the brush or whatnot. But I'm kind of curious about the feral people phenomenon, you know. I'm just not sure if it's just here in Tennessee or wherever the case may be, but it is definitely an interesting topic to talk about. Heard something just now, I don't know what that was. Let's go pan a video around here, see if there's anything watching, you know, because I ain't got my back trail camera today. This is just gonna be it's just a little short walk around and videoing, but sorry. But yeah, I'm got some more videos in the works. I just gotta edit them and get them up. But I can't thank everybody enough. I'm gonna attempt to get this video uploaded at some point today. I'm gonna get with the eyewitness of the feral person and sit down with him and talk with him, ask him some questions and stuff, and just try to get to the bottom of all this stuff, you know. And I can't thank everybody enough for the support, you know. I'm still a small channel, I'm growing, but the feral people are just as real as the Bigfoot and the Dogman and all this stuff. Also, don't forget, join my Facebook groups, Bigfoot Reports and Data, CRYPTICVEIL, and Trailblazers Paranormal. Also follow along on TikTok, Bigfoot Reports and Data. But all right, I'm gonna start making my way back out of here. So I'm starting to sweat and it's hot, it's humid. But y'all stay on the trail and just stick with me, y'all. And I'm here for those that are not physically able, you know. And I'm out here bringing the evidence as it is to you, you know. And if I ain't got anything, I'm not going to present it. So you know, I'm an honest man, and you know, if I ain't got nothing to share, I'm not going to share it. So thank you all, each and every one, and God bless.